It's the grandson of right thought. So we want to find out about these Gentiles and these grafted in branches. Who are they? Who are the Gentiles that are coming and becoming spiritual Israel, grafted into the spiritual covenant? Let's find out. This is the book of Hosea. The word of the Lord came unto Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Yehudah, in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea, Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So the Most High says to Hosea, Go take a wife that's a hoe, and children of hoes. Okay? For the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. He says, because that's what the children of my children have done to me. Okay? So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. Which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, listen closely, y'all, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. He says he will cause to cease, stop the kingdom of the house of Israel, put an end to it. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, Call her name Laruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. You hear that? So the Most High says, Get you a wife that's a hoe, then bear some children. Now he has one that he names Jezreel, and the Most High says why he names him that. Then he says, There's another child born, Laruhamah. He says, I'm not going to have mercy on the house of Israel, but I'm going to utterly take them away. Y'all hear that? But I will have mercy upon the house of Yehudah, Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, listen guys, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. So he's not going to do it with like a war machine, an army. Now when she had weaned Laruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, Call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people. Listen to this. He's saying this about Israel. He says, Call that child this, Lo-Ami, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God. Y'all see that? First chapter of Hosea. So he says, Call this child Lo-Ami, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Let's go to Romans from what we read yesterday. This is Romans chapter 9. Verse 24, even us, whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. See? So they say, see, that's the whole wide world. Let's keep going. As he saith in OC, which is Hosea. So we just read that. I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. So he's going to call her beloved, which was he did not love. So who did he say this about in Hosea? He's going to do that to Israel. You see? So Israel became Gentiles. And what did he say about Judah? That he was going to have a remnant. So he says not the Jews only, but also the rest of the Israelites that fell away. See, y'all don't know about the history of the Assyrian bondage. When Israel, the 10 tribes of the northern kingdom of Israel, were taken into Assyrian bondage, and they did not return to the fold of Israel. So they became Gentiles, you see? So they were cast off. These are the two wives that I was talking about. Jews, which are the southern kingdom of Israel, and Israel, which is the northern kingdom of Israel. The two sticks, you see? And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God. See, the Gentiles. Now, what is he talking about here? Same thing Hosea said. He's quoting Hosea, which is happening right here in America. In this land of America, the Negroes were cast off as God's people. They did not know. It was stripped away from them. Was it not? Was their name stripped away here when they were brought here in slavery? Was their country stripped away? Was their flag stripped away? Was their God stripped away? Was their heritage stripped away? Yes. So they weren't called God's people here, were they? No. But he says that the same place where they were cast off, enslaved, I'm going to raise them up there. And there they're going to be called the children of the living God. Israel again. You see that? Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. You see that? So he's saying Hosea and Isaiah talked about the Gentiles. He's telling you who the Gentiles are. So let's go to Isaiah and see. Isaiah 10:22. For though thy people Israel, see, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return, be grafted back in again. You see, the consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. You see what he said here? Isaiah concerning Israel, for he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness. You see, right thinking. So he's going to bring them back by right thinking, by the Spirit who he's going to send, the Spirit of truth. Y'all see that? To who? Israel that was scattered. A remnant of them are going to be brought back and grafted back in. Those are the Gentiles of the Bible. Y'all have all been lied to by Roman Catholicism that told you the Gentiles is the whole wide world. How can Abiyah graft back in branches that were never broken off? So let's go back to Hosea and read more about this. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel see. Then, so the two sticks will become one again. The two tribes, Israel and Judah, the two kingdoms will become one kingdom again, like they did under David. See? Be gathered together. See? And appoint themselves one head. See? One king. We all know who that one king is. Yahusha. And they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel. See? Let's keep going. Say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah, plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. You see? He says, plead with y'all mama, Israel he's talking about, to come back home to their husband, Abiyah. This is a marriage. I told you they made a marriage covenant with Abiyah at Sinai. That's why it was sprinkled in blood. Just like when a man makes a marriage covenant with a woman and she's a virgin and he lays with her and she bleeds to mark the sign of the covenant of their union. You see that? So Abiyah says, well, she done ran out there. She's being a whore. He says, but let her put those things away. Plead with her to put those things away, lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. Did Abiyah do that to the nation of Israel? Yes, he did. See? And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. See? Not children after the spirit, born after the spirit, the children born after the flesh. And that's what Israel has been doing. For their mother have played the harlot. Their mother's been a whore. She that conceived them have done shamefully. They mama is a shameful woman. For she said, I will go after my lovers. See, other niggas that give me my bread. They feed me. And my water, they take care of me. And my wool and my flax, they buy me nice clothes. Mine oil and my drink, they got nice things for me. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her paths. She's going to be confused as hell living out there in the world, just like Israel is. You see? Don't know who she is. Don't know who her man is. Don't know where her house is. Don't know where her safety is. Fucking everybody else, listening to everybody else's doctrines, serving everybody else's God, sucking white boy Jesus dick. Plain and simple. Y'all gonna see how the Most High talks too. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. She can't woo them. They ain't being deceived by her. They hitting it and they like, get out of here, bitch. Bye. See you. I got shit to do. They used to lay up with her and cuddle with her. Now they like, fuck her. They just hit it and quit it. And she shall seek them and shall not find them. She's setting up trying to hook up with them. They like, I got other shit to do. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband. See, for then was it better with me than now. That's what Israel's going to do. They're going to say, man, the hell with these other gods. They ain't giving me nothing. They ain't blessing me. I'm still having to struggle and go to work and still struggle and strife every fucking day. I'm going back to my God, Abba Yah, my husband. See, he's telling you who the Gentiles are in a mystery right here. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. She didn't know that all that gold that her lovers got, they stole from me. I was giving that to her. But since she didn't follow me, I let them niggas have it. You see? Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof. I was doing that now on the earth, isn't he? Isn't there no corn being planted? All the fields and shit flooded. Farmers all stressing the fuck out, don't know what to do. Yes. And my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. You see? All them nice ass clothes, all that shit, that's gonna come to nothing. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. I will also cause all her mirth to cease. Did he do this to Israel? Yes, he put them in bondage. Stripped them butt ass naked in front of everybody. Nobody could stop nothing that happened to them. So Abba Yah didn't lie. Her feast days, her new moons, her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. He says he's going to make it cease. So Israel don't know none of these things no more. None of their solemn days, none of their feasts. They be trying to keep that shit. Now they don't know what days it is no more. Abba said he's going to make it stop, see. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she hath said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. Didn't give Abba Yah praise for the things she got. See, didn't love her husband for the things she got. And I will make them a forest, and the beast of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them. See, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith the Lord. Her husband that was taking care of her and loving her, put a roof over her head, loved her, man, took care of her, man, made her his boo. She went after other guys. She got all decked out, got ready for other niggas to take her on dates. That shit happening right now in men's houses. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. He said he's going to woo her. And I will give her her vineyards from thence and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, as in the days when she came up out of the land of Egypt, when we loved our husband, see, because he saved us. And it shall be at that day, says the Most High, that thou shalt call me Ishi, which means husband, and shall call me no more, but Ali, see, the Lord. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name, see. And in that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven and with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow of the sword of the battle of out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. So he's just going to take care of them again. See, his people. And I will be, listen guys, and I will betroth thee unto me forever. See, marry you unto me forever. Again, the world without end, Israel. See, yeah, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness. See, and right thinking. I'm going to bring you back to me in right thinking and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercies. See, he's going to betroth Israel back to him, the same one who went astray. See, I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. See, and it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the Lord. I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth, and the earth shall hear the corn and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, And I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. See, Israel. And I will say to them which were not my people, Israel, thou art my people, Israel, again. See? And they shall say, thou art my God. You see that? So he's telling you the mystery right now. Listen up, y'all. Then said the Lord unto me, go yet, love a woman, beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of the Lord toward the children of Israel, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine. See, he's making it clear. Children of Israel loving other gods, committing adultery on their husband. The same thing. Israel loving another god is like a wife committing adultery on her husband. Simple. So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for a homer of barley, and for a half a homer of barley. And I said unto her, thou shalt abide for me many days. Thou shalt not play the harlot. You ain't gonna be no hoe. And thou shalt not be for another man. You're gonna be my woman and no other man's. So will I also be for thee. I'm gonna be your man and only yours. See, I was gonna do the same thing. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king. See, right here in America, they didn't know nothing about who they were, nothing. And without a prince, see, no leadership. Without a sacrifice, not keeping no holy days, no none of that shit. Without an image, see, they didn't have no image. And without an ephod, they didn't know who they were, no image. They didn't have no priest. And without teraphim, no understanding, no nothing. Afterward shall the children of Israel return, see, Gentiles, and seek the Lord their God and David their king, see, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days in the end, right now. This is happening right now. That's why you see people on earth talking about, I'm King David, I'm King David, I'm King David, I'm King David. Abba Yah's going to reveal who King David is. Simple as that. All right, let's keep going. We're going to get right to the main part. Look what he says, verse 6, Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. See, it ain't about the world. He says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee. See, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Told you. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. See how he cast them off and then he's going to redeem them back? You see? Let's keep going. He keeps talking about their whoredoms, as you can see. He talks about the wicked things that they do, their adulteries. See? Though you, Israel, he's talking to one people. He keeps only talking to one people. Play the hoe. See, you want to be a hoe. Yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye into Bethaven, nor swear the Lord liveth. For Israel sideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. You see? Ephraim, which is the northern kingdom, is joined to idols. Let him alone. See? Turned into Gentiles. Ephraim, which is the north kingdom. I told you they went astray. But Judah held tight. That's why when Yahusha came, there were only Jews in Israel. All the other 10 tribes had scattered already. You see? Then the Jews got scattered afterward because they went astray and denied Christ. You see? That was their error. And loving white boy Jesus instead. You see? Other gods. Let's see. See, look what he says. I know Ephraim, and Israel is not hid from me. See, he's talking about the north kingdom. For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. You see? Watch what he says here. And the pride of Israel doth testify to his face. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquity. See, north kingdom. Judah also shall fall with them. Told you. The northern kingdom had already went astray and fell into bondage and went following after other gods. Jews stayed, kept Torah to their best of their ability. But then when Christ came, which was the truth, they failed. They denied Christ, so they failed too. Then they fell into slavery in the same land together. We all together. North and South kingdom in slavery. See? Destroyed it in slavery. Now Abiyah's bringing us back. See? Let's see. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment because he willingly walked after the commandment. Therefore will I be unto Ephraim as a moth, and the house of Judah as rottenness. You see? So he's destroying them now. He's turning away. That was our slavery that we went through. And watch this, Hosea chapter 6. Come and let us return unto the Lord. See? For he hath torn, put us in slavery and tore our ass up, and he will heal us. See? He hath smitten, and he will bind us up. See? Us. After 2 days will he revive us, and the third day he will raise us up. See, just like he did Yahusha. He's going to do the same thing to the whole nation in the regeneration. See? And we shall live in his sight. Look at that, y'all. Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord. His going forth is prepared as the morning, and he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and former rain unto the earth. O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? He's only talking to those two. See? That's it. For your goodness is as a morning cloud, and as the early dew it goeth away. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. See? I have slain them by the words of my mouth. When the prophets speak, it tears their ass up. And thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. For I desired mercy. He wanted to give mercy. See? Y'all wanted to sacrifice and keep the law by the letter of the law and do rudiments. Without mercy. See? And the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. You were too busy trying to keep rudiments and not loving. See? But they, like men, have transgressed the covenant. See? So he's talking to one nation of people, y'all. There have they dealt treacherously against me. Alrighty then. Look what he says. I have seen an horrible thing in the house of Israel. There is the whoredom of Ephraim. See, being a hoe. Israel is defiled. Also, O Judah, he hath set a harvest for thee. When I returned the captivity of my people. See, that's why Israel fell into slavery. And then he talks about how he would have healed Israel. See, they had done what he said. Look what he says here, y'all. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So Ephraim mixed himself among the people. I told you, so there's Israelites scattered. You see? But that don't mean that they're not Ephraim still. You understand that? Strangers have devoured his strength, which means his bloodline. You see? And he knoweth it not. Doesn't even know that he's Ephraim anymore. He thinks he's something else. I told you guys this. Yea, gray hairs are here, and they're upon him, yet he knoweth not. Even though he got the white woolly head on his head, he doesn't even know. See? And the pride of Israel testifies to his face, and they do not return to the Lord their God, nor seek him for all this. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. They're always looking for another nigga that's going to take care of them instead of their Abba, see, their husband. All right? So we see that's what Abiyah's talking about, Hosea. That's what this whole book is about. Okay? He says they broke his covenant and broke his law. Who did? Israel. See, Israel shall cry unto me, my God, we know thee. Israel has cast off the thing that is good. The enemy shall pursue him. So all of that you read was because they broke the covenant, just like Deuteronomy 28 said. If they broke the covenant, they would be all kinds of curses, right? Y'all heard it. All right. He says they put up kings. So they was voting for presidents and shit. Israel was. But not by me. They wasn't voting for who I say. See? They have made princes, and I knew it not. Who the hell is this nigga? You putting up here talking about that's your president, that's your leader. You voting for him. What? Of their silver and their gold have they made them idols. They that may be cut off. See? He gonna cut them all off any damn way. All right? So, as we see, he keeps talking more and more. Now, watch what he's about to say here in verse 8. Israel is swallowed up Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein there is no pleasure. See that? Israel became Gentiles, y'all. Hosea, it was breaking down the mystery, and that's why Paul said it was a mystery, and that's why he quoted Hosea and Isaiah. You see? Because it's a mystery that it's Israel who became Gentiles. All right? Let's keep going. See? For Israel has forgotten his maker and buildeth temples, and Judah have multiplied fenced cities, but I will send a fire upon his cities that shall devour the palaces thereof. That's exactly what happened. You see? So he says, rejoice not, Israel, for joy, as other people. For thou hast gone a whoring from thy God. Thou hast loved a reward upon every corn floor. So Most High says, y'all was being a hoe. So you don't need to be rejoicing. That's why they fell into slavery. So he keeps on talking more and more and more about their judgment. Okay? Let's keep going. Israel is an empty vine. He bringeth forth fruit unto himself. You see this? Their heart is divided. Now shall they be found faulty. Okay. So it's more and more judgment. Again and again and again. Same stuff. Being hoes. Now watch this. Hosea chapter 11. When Israel was a child, then I loved him. See? And called my son out of Egypt. Look at this, guys. His son out of Egypt. Israel. Who he loved. As they called them, so they went from them. They sacrificed unto Baalim and burned incense to graven images. See? Serving after white boy Jesus, the image of the beast. All right? Let's keep going. And my people are bent to backsliding from me. Though they called them to the Most High, none of all would exalt him. See? They don't know their God. They don't know. Now look at Abba. How shall I give thee up, Ephraim? How shall I deliver thee, Israel? How shall I make thee as Admah? How shall I set thee as Zeboim? My heart is turned within me. My repentings are kindled together. Look at Abba's love for Israel. He's like, how am I going to give you up, baby? I don't want to let you go to the world. But you won't love me. I got to let you go so you can learn. My heart is broken. I will not execute the fierceness of mine anger. Look at him. I will not return to destroy Ephraim, for I am God and not man. His love exceeds our love, y'all. The Holy One in the midst of thee, and I will not enter into the city. They shall walk after the Lord. He shall roar like a lion. When he shall roar, then the children shall tremble from the west. You see that? So the Most High is still talking about his love for his people. You see? Ephraim and Judah. The Lord hath also a controversy with Judah, and will punish Jacob according to his ways, according to his doings will he recompense him. So this is why. You see, he fell into slavery. And now we're delivered from it. Our deliverance is here now, y'all. You see? He took his brother by the heel in the womb. Look at this, guys. Israel, remember he held on to his brother Esau's heel? You see how the whole Bible's talking about them? And by his strength, he had power with God. That's why his name was changed to Israel. Yeah, he had power over the angel and prevailed. Look at that. He wept and made supplication unto him. He found him in Bethel, and there he spake with us. Even the Lord, the God of hosts, the Lord is his memorial. Therefore, turn thou to your God. See? Keep mercy and judgment and wait on your God continually. All right? Most High saying, I love you. Come back to me. All right? Who is he talking to, y'all? One nation. All right? He's talking about more wickedness. He's talking about all the things that he did for them and how they still turned away. All right? O Israel, look what he's saying, same people, return unto the Lord thy God, for thou hast fallen by thine iniquity, unbalanced scales, unbalanced dealings. Israel, listen, the Most High hates iniquity. Do not deal with unbalanced scales. Make sure that you balance those scales when you deal with people out there, Israel. Even if you got to add a little extra on there, make sure that you balance it though. Don't deal with iniquity. The Most High don't deal with that. All right. Most High says, I will heal their backsliding. I will love them freely, for mine anger is turned away from them. See? And then he talks about the blessings he's going to pour on them. All right. Then he talks about Israel being destroyed. See? To warn the children that this is what's coming. Oh, we in Joel now, so we didn't already got out of Hosea. So y'all see that? Now let's get something else while we're here. Ezekiel 23. Let's see. Come on, get some puppy. There we go. All right. So she discovered her whoredoms, you see, and discovered her nakedness, verse 18, Ezekiel 23:18. Then my mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister. You see, the two sisters, the northern and southern kingdoms, Israel and Judah. Yet she multiplied her whoredoms and calling to remembrance the days of her youth, wherein she played the harlot in the land of Egypt. See, for she doted upon their paramours, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses. Looking at that wood is just the Most High's word. I told you, look how the Most High talk. Talking about they got a big dick, and whose issue is like the issue of horses. A cum shot, that's what that's talking about. It's just real. That's how the Most High's talking. Y'all want to be nasty. Y'all only chasing after a nigga because of that. All right, look on the outside, in other words. Thus thou callest to remembrance the lewdness of thy youth, and bruising thy teeth by the Egyptians for the paps of thy youth, being a whore. Therefore, O Aholabah, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee, from whom thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them against thee on every side. You see? You want to be a hoe? I'm going to let you go ahead and be one. They shall also strip thee out of thy clothes, and take away thy fair jewels. This is what happened to Israel because it was playing the whore. You see? Thou hast walked in the way of thy sisters, talking about Judah, walking as Israel. Therefore will I give her cup into thine hand. So you see, it's made it clear. Israel is the Gentiles being back redeemed, back home again. You see that? Silwam Yisraelah.